Hey, everybody, it's Friday, and we all know what that means. That's right, it's episode 77 of the Real Deal Pod with Allister and Geoff. That's right, I am Allister Carrington, your trusted realtor. And as always, we're alongside our trusted mortgage guru, our trusted lender, Geoff Lee. Geoff, buddy, how are you, my friend?
I am doing great. I'm doing great. Had a nice long weekend, and I put up my Christmas decorations. So
Look at you.
Merry Christmas.
There it is, man. It's already starting. I've got my wife actually. She's in the background. She's doing it now. She put up the tree yesterday. Yesterday. I believe the tree went up, and then decorations are going on it today. And she was running around putting out all the stuff yesterday and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, Christmas is one of my favorite times of year for sure.
mine too. You know what's crazy? So I didn't realize that Thanksgiving for the US was the 27th of November. I actually thought it was yesterday. I always thought it was mid-November.
Right.
So that got me thinking, the 27th of November. So that's literally then less than a month until Christmas.
Yeah.
That seems too tight, no?
Well, I think yeah, I would agree, but I think when you do things for hundreds of years, it becomes the new normal.
But has it always been that close?
You know what? I don't know. I always because when is Canadian Thanksgiving? October?
We're second week of October. That's why I just thought it was the second week of November for them.
Yeah. I haven't really put too much thought into it, but if you were to ask me, is it close? It's close, but that also tells me it's two great meals within a 4 week period of time. So
Yeah, I gotta say that's right. But I was just thinking because in the US they travel a lot, right? Like because the US and Canada are different. We don't typically move away from our families the way they do in the United States. So I was just thinking like if you gotta fly, so if you move from Chicago to Los Angeles, right?
Mhm.
And you gotta fly back home to Chicago or fly back home to like Iowa or whatever, right? That's gonna be an expensive set of flying so close together. And then to get vacation time on top of that.
Yeah, I think flying though, I don't know if it's the same as Europe, but I know if you fly in Europe, like between countries, as far as
Mhm.
within Europe, it's quite cheap. So
Yeah, there are discount airlines in the US, like Southwest, I know is one of them and stuff like that. So
yeah, I don't
maybe.
know. I'm not a big fan of last year. We went away at Christmas time on a cruise with my family and my partner, and you know what? I it was great because I was with family. But if I don't know, I don't like moving around too much at Christmas time. Is kind of what I discovered or what we discovered. I just like being, as you said, I like being here. Just a
Yeah.
minute all. Christmas markets are coming out this week.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this season.
This season's gonna be great. If you have some time, man, Cloverdale is gonna be having the Light Festival again. And it was such a hit. Yeah, it was such a hit last year, that they've expanded it this year. I think one of the reasons too is they're not doing it in North Van this year. They're not doing it at Stanley Park because I guess there was a permit thing or something like that. I don't know. So they're even going to have the Christmas train
Oh,
out here now. So it's going to be huge. I'm excited. I'm going to that one. So I'm super excited to go check it out.
that's different than the festivity of lights, correct?
I think so, but I don't think so. That's the one I think that now they're combining out
Okay.
here now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, they're combining because last year it was the Surrey Festival of Lights, right? And that was the first year they were having it. And it was monstrous, like it was huge. And then I was reading this year, and then Michelle was telling me that they were combining the one from North Van. So if you got some time, check it out. It's a great time.
I'll have some time. I'll make the time.
It's awesome, man. Well, buddy, let's kick it. Let's get into it and let's get started with the hottest segment in podcast today, and that is
Did
Did
you know?
you know?
that's right, my man. Did you know? So, Geoff, did you know The Vancouver condo market is stepping into one of its most uncertain periods in years.
Yeah.
A new report from PwC and Urban Land Institute points to the Vancouver condo market struggling for the next 2 years.
Ooh.
And the ripple effects could shape everything from investory, to investor strategy across the region. So right now, condo developers are facing a perfect storm. Tighter margins, rising inventory, and projects being paused or rethought altogether.
Mhm.
Some well-positioned developers are choosing to ride out the slowdown or take on leaner projects just to keep their teams working. Others in tougher financial positions are selling off assets or even reducing staff. It's a wide spectrum of stress and strategy, all driven by the same cool down market.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets interesting. The response isn't the same across the board. You've got some builders pivoting hard into purpose-built rentals. You've got strong balance sheet players buying up distressed or insolvent projects. And then you've got the contrarians, the developers quietly asking, is now the time to start building again? Why? Because they're eyeing the long game. If supply dries up over the next few years, the projects that start today may be the ones perfectly positioned when demand snaps back. So still, the broader industry consensus is clear. It's too early to return to business as usual. A big part of this uncertainty comes from shifting population patterns. For decades, international immigration has helped offset the number of people leaving Vancouver for more affordable markets in BC and Alberta. Now, with the federal immigration policy tightening, experts are expecting something Vancouver hasn't seen in 40 years, a population decline, and that changes the math for everyone. There is hope that government programs like Build Canada Homes can help keep developers afloat and ready for eventual recovery. But reactions to the recent federal budget were mixed, and many in the industry are questioning whether the current level of funding is enough to truly move the needle on the new home construction. So where are investors redirecting their attention? Industrial remains a standout thanks to limited land supply. High quality office space is still leasing well. Retail, especially grocery anchored or essential services sites, continues to prove its resilience, and hotels. That sector needs time to recover, but with FIFA World Cup coming, momentum may build.
Mhm.
So what's your takeaway, Geoff? Because I have a comment on the FIFA thing.
Well, I think FIFA is going to be it's going to be a cash injection, but FIFA is not going to be here for a huge long period of time. It's like the Olympics, right?
Right. No, I mean in the hotel standpoint, because they're saying that the hotels need time to recover, but they're banking on FIFA helping out hotels. But I have a comment on that with Airbnb. So go ahead.
Well, yeah, it goes back down to, well, with Airbnb, there is short-term restrictions here within Vancouver.
Yeah. So that's the issue. So when they made that comment about hotels recovering with Airbnb, I was watching a program and they were actually saying that FIFA might put too much pressure on hotels. We won't have enough, and because of the Airbnb restrictions that we put in place, we might not have enough to house people or to put people.
Hmm.
So they were saying there's an argument that Vancouver may have to revisit the Airbnb policy
Yeah,
and
I
lift
wasn't
it.
surprised.
Yeah,
But it is true, is like again, like if you're having this injection of population coming in for FIFA, and again, FIFA's not gonna, well, actually FIFA, how long is that tournament? It's
two
like
weeks.
it's 2 weeks, okay.
2 weeks. Yeah.
And it's going to be such a short time. It's going to be a huge cash injections, but there are going to be accommodation issues, possibly for surely. So now all of a sudden you're going to make an exception and then basically go back to the old rules again, which is crazy to me, right?
Crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my opinion on that. I think FIFA is going to be a great thing for the city. I think it's going to be a great energy. It's going to be a great vibe. Hopefully, I can see at least one World Cup game. Um, but again, I'm not going to compare FIFA to the Olympics, but the Olympics typically are a economic suck for cities that host them, right?
You betcha. It takes a country usually about 8 years,
Yeah.
double the time for them to pay it all off.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think FIFA is quite to that extent. So I'd be more curious as far as to kind of take a look on when a city does host a World Cup like that, what it does, what it actually does for the city.
Yeah.
Because on the surface, yeah, you're getting hundreds of thousands of people coming to the city. They're spending millions of dollars. They obviously need accommodations. But that also being said, that unlike the Olympics, there's not that all that infrastructure that has to be put into place as well. So, yeah, with short-term rentals, I would not be surprised if they lifted it for a period of time, but then I would be very disappointed that they would just revert it back to what those regulations are again.
And what do you feel about, just quickly, what do you think about the condo market struggling for the next 2 years?
Well, I think the condo market has been struggling probably for 2 or 3 years
It's been
as
two
we're
years
in.
as it is. I was gonna say, yeah, been about 2.5 years as it is. So it'll make
Yeah,
the 4.5 year term time.
I know when a country is in a recession, my understanding to get out of a recession takes about 6 years.
Yeah,
That being said, is that if we're truly in a condo recession, that based on just that statistic, it doesn't surprise me. What surprises me as far as the housing industry, as far as how long that is going to be in a condo recession for, because I think if we're in a condo recession for 5 years, that's probably going to be the longest period of time in housing history as far as it not correcting back to normalcy again. But I also do know, and I have a couple of friends which are developers, and when you were going into your did you know it, it reminisced to conversations that I've been having with developers, is that they are putting a halt on products. They are letting their staff, they're laying off their staff. They are reshifting their projects into rental markets. They are trying to shift with what's going on, and some are shifting better than others. And you'll see it. There's lots of people that are just not stopping their projects. They just can't continue.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, 2 years, I can see that just
That's gonna
because of the
that
amount of inventory we have.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is it's yeah, I was saying I would guess about 65% of our current inventory is probably condos.
Yeah, and I think you made note of it with these with our immigration restrictions that have been coming in and our foreign buyers bans that have been implemented. Like this is a couple of things that are also affecting our condo market,
For sure.
right? So I think this is an onion layer where there's multiple layers of things that need to be done, and that has also had a cause and effect on it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's a dozen of things. And I think our government had the right intentions, or they thought they had the right intentions, but I'm not too sure if they realized the impact that they're actually creating. And we're starting to see that now.
I think so. And that always goes back to my point of the problem with government being reactionary as opposed to proactive and not taking the time to think through policies as opposed to and just letting them go and just
And it's funny, a
do
lot
them.
of these guidelines came in, Alistair, was to create housing,
I
right?
know. Yeah.
We have a rental property. It's been empty for 3 months. It's actually below market value for rent. And so we have created an abundance of rentals for people, but there's nobody moving into them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so this is what I'm saying is it has it has a trickle effect. Is you're creating housing, trying to create affordable housing, but people aren't even renting, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's, sorry, I shouldn't say that they're not renting, but there's so much opportunity now as far as where they can rent, right?
Sure.
Whereas
Yeah.
before, um, we didn't have the inventory for rent.
Yeah.
It just wasn't there. And now, the rental market, as far as landlords and investors, they're also struggling.
Yeah.
So I think that again, this has that trickle effect on everything, and I believe that our government had good intentions. I'm just not too sure that they had put too much thought process into future impact.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. It's again, as we keep saying, it's going to be an interesting ride. The whole deal is we've been saying that for 2 years now, that it's going to be an interesting ride, and
Yeah, and
doesn't
it's
seem like this roller coaster is stopping anytime too
yeah,
soon.
and it's not only what's going on inside our Canadian borders. The roller coaster ride happens on what's going outside of
Yeah.
our Canadian borders. If you take a look on how people forecasted this real estate year, this
Yeah.
was supposed to be the breakout year,
Yes, it was. It was supposed to be the massive rebound year. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And this has not been the case.
No,
And from what,
everybody's
yeah,
reshaped their numbers.
and
Yeah.
from what you're saying, it's going to be another 2 years on the condo side. And
Yeah.
remember, Alistair, we did those numbers last week as far as the COVID rates and the
Yeah.
COVID days as far as condo purchase. It's actually better for an investor not an investor. It's better for an individual to purchase a condo today than
Yeah.
it was in
In
pre-COVID,
COVID.
right?
Yeah.
So again, there's lots of reasons why people should buy, but again, I think with this news and as that media gets a hold of it and that message starts to become more mainstream, I don't think we're in a very good situation as we continue to move forward. But again, things always change, right?
It's true, and that's one of the things, and we do our best to stay away from it and not touch on it, but we know that one of the biggest elephants in the room is tariffs. And once that is all figured out, right, and what it's going to look like going ahead, it could drastically change the market, right? And so,
Yeah, people's confidence can change the market. People, again, things change. It's like economics. It's like
yeah,
this is what an economist is saying today. This is what that same economist is saying 4 weeks from today. It just changes so quickly, it seems, and it seems like and go take a listen to our past pods. Like our messaging has changed, right?
sure, yeah,
So again, yes, could we be in for a 2 year drought? Sure. Could it rebound quickly? Sure. Could it rebound at some point? Sure. I think we just kind of do that day-to-day thing, and you just keep on doing what we do, right?
that's it. We just keep trying to breathe confidence in the market because that's what we know actually makes the market move is confidence.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, man, let's move into some quick insights from Allister. I wanted to touch on some things because we have hit the winter markets, and it kind of goes to people that are trying to sell condos, or if you're trying to sell your townhome, or if you're trying to sell your detached home. And that is how to position your home to sell strong in the winter months. Um, when you're thinking about selling your home in the winter, it's easy to wonder whether the buyers are out there, right? That's what a lot of people worry about is, should I put my home up in the winter time? How long is it going to stay? Or is there even buyers looking out there? Well, the reality is winter buyers are probably the most motivated of all buyers, right? They're serious, they're focused, they're ready to make decisions. But what your goal as a seller is to make sure your home stands out as warm, inviting, and well cared for. So when the right buyer walks in, they feel it instantly. And we as realtors will always say, right? Price matters because it does. So you have to be realistic in your pricing. But just as you have to be realistic in your pricing, you also have to have your product looking to be the belle of the ball, looking to be the most inviting one that they walk into. It's not just price that sells your home right now, right? Prices, you could be priced well if your home doesn't look attractive, all you're going to get is continually lowballed from where you put your pricing at. So you have to make sure that your price and your beauty match up. So here's some things that you can do to set your home up for success in the winter market. So winter days are shorter, of course, and natural light becomes a powerful selling tool. So let light lead the way. So keep blinds open and curtains pulled back. Add warm, bright bulbs where needed. That is super, super big, right? And make sure if you're leaving your home, and for the realtors that are going to be showing the home, turn on the lights before every showing, because buyers respond immediately to spaces that feel open, bright, and uplifting, especially as we are in the darker months. Number two, create a home that feels warm and welcoming. So when buyers step inside from the cold, they should feel comfort immediately. So keep the temperature consistent and cozy. Add soft textures like throws, cushions, and rugs. And if you have a fireplace, please have it on for showings. People buy homes that feel like a haven, and winter gives you a natural chance to lean into that. Number three, this is big, people. Make the entrance safe and inviting. So we've always said this on the pod, first impressions start at the walkway. So clear snow, ice, and wet leaves promptly. Add salt if needed to prevent slipping, and keep the front entry tidy and well lit. A smooth, safe approach to the front door signals care and attention. Number four, highlight comfort features buyers want in the winter. So buyers look closely at how a home handles cold weather. If you've got upgraded windows, highlight it. If you've got a new furnace or heat pump, highlight it. If you've got new insulation improvements, again, highlight it. Efficient appliances, heated floors, or a heated garage, make sure these things are highlighted. These things, again, are going to help your home sell during the winter months. Keep exterior spaces clean and presentable. So again, remove clutter from porches and deck, replace any burnt out exterior bulbs, add evergreens or winter planters or a simple wreath. So small touches will always go a long way in helping buyers imagine coming home every day. Use photography to your advantage. So this is one thing when you're discussing listing your home with an agent, talk to them about what your photography is going to look like. So make sure you aim for the brightest day possible. And then one of the big things is consider evening or twilight shots actually to showcase the warmth. Because one of the things that are going to happen is a lot of people are going to be seeing your home in the dark. So consider having twilight shots done. They will show nicer. It'll show when they're viewing your property online, it'll show the warmth of the house in the evening. And if you have stunning photos from another season, have them included because they'll help buyers picture the full year round. And that's six little insights that I wanted people to have and wanted people to think about when they're going to be selling their home in the winter. And it's going to really help you get the most bang for your buck, the most dollars. Did I miss anything, Jeff? You think? You're on mute, Jeff. Jeff, you're on mute.
No, as I was listening, I was thinking I should sell my home in the winter right now. It looks good.
There you go.
Got the reefs, got the clear driveway, got the amber lights. I got a fire going on. Like, I want to buy it again.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When your home feels warm, well lit, and beautifully cared for, it stands out in the most powerful of ways. And I think that's, as I've been touring homes with my clients and stuff like that over the past few weeks, that's some of the things that I've been thinking about. God bless people that are trying to sell their home right now. But sometimes I walk up to a home and I think to myself, are you really trying to sell this? Because it's dreary, right? There is no inviting feel.
Well, what really captures my attention, and you noted it, is that walking up to the door.
Yeah.
I live out here in Lindo Beach. There's lots of homes here for sale, and I love the area where I live in. But there's a house for sale, maybe 100 meters from me, 200 meters from you, but you walk up to it, it's missing paint on the board. It's just looks kind of gloomy. So again, your house can be sold within the first 3 minutes,
Yeah.
depending on what it looks like. So yeah, good information there for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
People are going to rewind that and listen to that at least 6 times.
I hope so because it'll help them sell their home.
Well, what I want to transition into on my side of things is mental health. Mental health is a very, very real thing. If you take a look on statistics of mental health year after year after year, it seems to be becoming more of the conversation. And at the end of the day, mortgage stress can create issues for your mental health. And the one thing that I've always said is that Canadians, one thing that they will always pay is their mortgage, right? They'll let their car loans go, they'll let their credit cards go, they'll let their student loans go, they'll let their consolidations loans go. And even if you take a look at bankruptcies, right? They let everything go, but they won't let go of the mortgage. That's one thing that Canadians really, truly do very well in is pay their mortgages, right? But also the reality of it is that our cost of living, and we've talked about this, is very, very high. We take a look at consumer debt and household debt. It is at all-time highs. So when all of a sudden now you're dealing with that, and now you have a mortgage payment, things become a little bit more real as we continue moving into the direction that we're going in. We just talked about condos now being in a recession for two more years, possibly. You take a look on, or you take a listen to many economists, they will say that we are in a recession, right? There is a lot of fear-based things that are being driven. And again, I've always said recessions are always fear-based. A lot of times a country is in a recession, quote unquote, but it's actually fear-based where it's not, right? So as we have that recession state of mind or that recession thought, your mental health and the stress on it is going to explode. I've always said is that everybody knows somebody that's suffering through mental health, right? Everybody, and again, statistically speaking, one of the biggest stressors for relationship breakup is finances, right? So why is it happening? Like, obviously, we're seeing record high home prices, and yes, we said that our market is the second softest market that the country has seen. But the reality of it is, our home prices are where they're at, right?
Right. Including, and also, sorry to interrupt, but that's also because wages haven't kept up
Our
with
cost of
with
living.
the inflation, with the increase in our housing costs. So that's the biggest driver.
That's right. And we're also taking a look, a lot of stress that's happening is because we've talked about this as well, is that 70% of Canadians' mortgages are coming up for renewal here by the end of 2026. I think, again, 23 million mortgages are coming up for renewal, or is it 2.3 million, let alone in 2026. So there is a lot of people that have had their mortgages renew, or their mortgages are coming up for renewal. They're coming off of the COVID rates, right, of 2%, coming into rates, low fours, mid fours, right, or high threes. And there is that payment shock that's coming, that is becoming a reality, right? There's also understand that there's a statistic that just came out that homeowners will spend 40% of their income on housing, right? That isn't necessarily a surprise because when we are underwriting a file, lenders will allow up to 39 to 44%, depending on their credit score, of their income to go towards household debt. So this is just confirming that Canadians are spending 40% of their income on housing. And as you said, Alistair, our wages aren't keeping up with the cost of living,
Yeah.
right? So then it all of a sudden becomes down to affordability. And as soon as we have that affordability issue, and all of a sudden we have a fear of missing payments, obviously that has an impact on your mental health, right? It's like when you have a stress, like just think of your most recent stress that you had, Alistair. You know, how well did you sleep, right?
Yeah.
How good did you eat? Um, you know, how productive were you? Like how anxious were you? And that might have been a light stress. But when we're in a situation now where we're coming into a financial stress and how am I going to make my payments and how am I even going to make my mortgage payment? Your mental health not will, can overtake and often and at times really handcuff you on how people are going to best move forward, right?
Yeah.
So I always tell people, and this is a plug for mortgage insurance. Anybody that has a mortgage, they should have mortgage insurance. Because within mortgage insurance, you have two types of things. You have a life component, so if you pass away, then the mortgage is going to pay. But you also have a disability component. And mental health is classified as a disability. Um, Mortgage insurance, if you have a doctor from if you have a letter from your doctor saying that you are having some mental health issues, your mortgage insurance can kick in and pay up to 2 years of your mortgage payments,
Hmm.
right? So again, anybody that is out there that does not have mortgage insurance, that has a mortgage, and you are starting to feel a little stressed about your financial situation, about your household debt, and how you're going to be able to best move forward in there, this might be a great time that you think about getting mortgage insurance if you don't have it already. Because on that disability component, providing that you qualify, if your mental health has an impact on you and how you're moving forward, your mortgage insurance can come in and basically cover up to 2 years of your payments, depending on the situation. So, where I really want to go is how do you manage your mortgage stress? Um, Again, depending on the lender you're with, you can talk to your lender. I'm having financial hardship. Can I defer my payment? Can I miss my payment? It goes back to the personalities of the mortgage. Remember, we've
Right.
talked about that, Alistair. It's
Yeah.
always about, hey, well, what's your best rate? Well, your best rate in COVID was like less than 2%. Awesome. Now you're coming into a 4%, high threes, mid fours. Now you're going to have that payment shock. Now your consumer debt is high, your household debt is high, maybe your cost of living is high, and your wages aren't reflecting the increase in our cost of living. And now you have a real legitimate concern.
Sure.
What is your lender where your mortgage currently sits at? Hey, if you're going through some financial hardship, how can you help me? And there's some lenders out there, Alistair, and we've talked about this before. It's like, not my problem,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
There are other lenders are let's help you get through this. This is what we can do. So again, goes back to the personalities of your mortgage. If you guys are going into a mortgage product, it's more about the rate. Rate is important, but what are the personalities of it? What is the personality if I'm going through a financial hardship,
Yeah.
right? Create budgets. We've talked about this in past pods. Everybody should have a budget. The reality of it is not very many people do. And more importantly, find someone that you trust. Find a community, not a community, find 1 to 2 people to 3 people that you absolutely trust, that you can basically get advice from, you can get support from, and they will give you their wisdom. And again, remember I said this before, if I could turn back the clock, I can actually still do this now. Find someone that's 15 years older than you that
Yeah.
has done life, right?
Hmm.
That has struggled, that has come through their struggle, and sit down with that person once a week or once a month, even have a coffee with them and just share your life with them, where you're at, the good and the bad. And that person can walk you through so many things just based on their wisdom,
Yeah.
right? And if you need it, go get professional help. Like therapy is the new normal, right? Like
100%.
the old,
Nothing to be ashamed
like
of.
the old days.
Mhm.
Understand if you're going through mental health issues, you know, exercise, spirituality, whatever that looks like to you, your diet, right? Keeping your feet moving is so, so important. Rest. I never realized how important rest is. But again, financial hardship will create mental health issues. Your biggest debt that most households have is your mortgage. And again, how do you navigate through that? And it's a real thing. So that's what I got. If
That's awesome.
you're going through something, talk to your lender, see how they can basically help you navigate, at least through the mortgage side of things. If you have mortgage insurance and you have a disability component to it and you're having mental health issues, talk to your insurance company and see how that claim could work for you. If you don't have mortgage insurance, go and look for some, get some. We can help you out with that if required. But again, it's a real thing. Mental health is a real thing, and it can be triggered by financial stress,
Yeah, 100%.
amongst 100 other things.
Exactly. No, 100%. And I think this was good to go through. And I actually think we might need to go through it again in February, because as we enter into the holiday season, which we were just saying, we love the holiday season. It's my favorite time of the year. Pardon the pun or whatnot, but it truly is my favorite time of the year. For a lot of people, when in February, they've always said that that's, I think, the highest rate of suicides is in February, because people then really start realizing the financial stress they're under, having to pay back the bills and all those sort of things that they've on the money they've spent during Christmas time. So again, I don't like we don't want people to fall into that trap, and we want people that if they're feeling that stress to reach out to find help, because no matter what, no matter how you feel, somebody out there loves you, right? So to make sure you reach out to somebody close, or reach out to a professional to talk.
Well, and here's the other thing. Christmas isn't a joyful time for a lot of people as well.
You're sure that's
Right.
true too. Yeah. Yeah. So, just make sure that there's always somebody there to talk to. So I think this was a great thing to go over, but amazing. Thanks, my man.
All right.
Well, that's it, man. We can end it on that. I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. Stay dry. I don't know. Is it supposed to be wet this weekend? I'm not sure. Quickly before we sign off, my mom and my sister, my brother-in-law, and my niece and nephew, they've been in Florida at Disneyland this past week. You know what the temperature was for the majority of the time out there?
Mm-mm.
3 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it was 3 degrees, 4 degrees, 6 degrees. A couple days ago, my sister or was it yesterday? No, day before. My sister was texting how they were at the park in like three sweaters, two pairs of pants. It was freezing out there, man. So, guys, we've been warmer than Disneyland. So, everybody, I hope you have an amazing weekend. As always, thank you for taking the time to listen to us. Continue to like, love, share us. Tell everybody you know about us. Leave us your comments. Give us your suggestions. Get those Christmas ornaments and get Christmas kicking and started. It's that time of year. Let's get going. Everybody, thanks so much for your time. Be back here with us for episode number 78. And most importantly, stay empowered, stay informed, and Geoff,
Stay tuned.
that's right, baby. Stay tuned. Peace out.